But with all that depth comes guys that enter the transfer portal. This is kind of tough for Indiana. Indiana just lost another player to the transfer portal, E.J. Williams. He's another wide receiver. And I'll say that because Indiana lost Donovan McCulley to the transfer portal a couple weeks ago. And it's tough for Indiana to lose these guys. A lot of programs are losing guys midseason because if they're not playing, they want to preserve their eligibility with, the redshirt rule. If you play in more than 4 games, you can't redshirt anymore. If you play in under 4 games, then you can redshirt. And I understand, that rule is fair. I completely get it. Back in the past, it was only used for guys that would get hurt and then they could redshirt. Well, now guys are using it. It'll be like, hey, I only played in 3 games, 4 games this year. I'm going to quit now midseason. Not that I'm going to finish out the season and just be on the sideline. No, I'm done with the team. I don't want to be put into the game anymore. At the end of a game, I want to have another year to maybe go pro. And this is what E.J. Williams is doing. He was a guy that was a former 4-star recruit at Clemson, had a really solid freshman year for the Tigers, and then his playing time decreased. A lot of people said Dabo wasn't playing him because he got recruited over. And plus the fact, he got recruited over by younger guys because E.J. Williams wasn't getting better. He wasn't showing improvement. And that's kind of what Cignetti was saying when it comes to Donovan McCulley and a guy like E.J. Williams. He was saying that these guys need to continue to show improvement because if you just think your spot in the lineup is safe, you're going to get passed by other guys. That's the way that it works. And the other problem that E.J. Williams had is that he never was completely healthy. And when you look at his statement on Twitter about I opted to get surgery to have a better opportunity to compete at playing time, to be 100% healthy and help contribute to a great football team next year. I made this decision because the team is perfectly fine without me, which is true. I will say that Indiana's wide receiver room is still very deep despite losing both these guys. So he is right about that. But he says I also want to have a chance to be able to continue my career at the professional level. The problem is if you're not able to start at Indiana, where are you going to be able to start that's going to put you in a position to go pro? Probably not many programs. I mean, he could go down to the MAC level. He'd go to a smaller school, but then he'd have to put up really good numbers to go pro. Plus, he's had so many injuries, that's going to hurt his chances of going pro. I mean, I understand that this is what he's got to do to be able to possibly continue his career, but it's still unfortunate to see Indiana losing these guys. I'm not saying it hurts the culture because obviously these guys are pumped and ready to go. The fact they're having a great season and Curt Cignetti's all business, but this is the downside to that you do lose some players. He says he also wants to have a chance to be able to continue his career at a professional level. Odds are slim, but I get it. While making this decision, my coach saw it as quitting on the team. A lot of people have been saying this on Twitter about Cignetti, Cignetti, that's not cool of him to do that. So if I was to redshirt, I wouldn't be able to come back to the program next season. I understand there's no bad blood, all that kind of stuff, and he hopes IU continues to have a great season. I take that in a mixed way. I can see how people would say, oh, that was wrong as Cignetti, but also he is technically quitting on the team, whether he looks at it that way or not, because obviously I don't think Indiana would do him dirty like that to not allow him to have surgery. If he truly was really, really hurt, he probably is hurt a little bit, but I don't know if it's so severe to the point where he couldn't play. And that's where the argument comes in. If he was so hurt that he couldn't play, that and Indiana wasn't going to give him surgery, then that's wrong. Absolutely. I get that. But at the same time, I don't know about that. I'm not 100% sure that was the case. So he probably could have played. I mean, he actually played in this game. He did. He played in the Nebraska game, called a pass. So he's obviously not that hurt. But he's saying that he needs to be 100% healthy to compete. It's a messed up situation. All the best for E.J. Williams. I hope wherever he goes that he has success and that he can stay healthy and maybe have a shot at a professional career. But to me, I don't blame Cignetti here at all. He's clearly was down far on the depth chart. He wasn't going to surpass these guys. And if he really wanted to go out there and do that, then he should have done it in the fall camp and during the early summer to be able to move up the depth chart. Maybe he wasn't 100% healthy, which is why he couldn't do it, but he hasn't been healthy for years since he's always been out. So I don't think this is a major loss for Indiana. It's a bad look for some people, but I don't think it's a bad look for Curt Cignetti really at all. And, I mean, you could say a classy statement by E.J. Williams. I think overall it was. But there's a couple under-the-line statements there that's like, it's kind of not on Indiana. But that's just my take on that. Hopefully E.J. Williams can find a good landing spot, but I don't think this hurts Indiana at all whatsoever. They still have a deep wide receiver room. Just wanted to update you guys on that.